I was just walking through the living room and they were discussing Ukraine and all this stuff. And it came to me because I wanted to have a better understanding, because if I remember correctly, during Trump's campaign, he talked a lot about Ukraine. And I wanted to see what exactly, if his actions are like his actions today are leading up to the words he said last year. You know, that's a big deal. You know, your actions aligning with your words. We lose sight of that. I get it. I did too. I did too. I don't anymore, but I did too. Based off the conformities of the world, you gotta be misleading, manipulative, go along with the narratives, go along with conformity, blah, 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 to get in where you can fit in. You know what I mean? If you can't beat them, join them. That's the mentality. And you decide within yourself if that's the mentality and the motto you want to carry. And that's not for me. I've come to the realization of that by the grace of God, and it goes against the grain, and it definitely puts a little bit of a heavy hit on your head, but it is what it is. You take it. What he said during his campaign, for entertainment purposes only, repeatedly vowed to end the Russia-Ukraine war in 24 hours, criticized blank checks and said Europe should pay more, promise now rated broken. That has yet to be fulfilled. So that's one promise that has yet to be fulfilled. Bummer. Famously tied allies, he'd let Russia do whatever to NATO, but remembers members that don't meet spending targets context earlier 2024 rally remarks. Part of his broader pressure on allies, background for skepticism among allies cited widely. Prior history, the 2019 Ukraine aid freeze that led to the first impeachment established a pattern of using aid as leverage. This is what's very interesting to me. This is what's very, very interesting to me, and it should be very interesting to you. By April 2024, Congress appropriated $174 billion across military, economic, and humanitarian lines. Obligations vary by agency. The State Department tallied $66.9 billion in military assistance through early 2025. Early 2025. What he's doing now, paused U.S. weapons shipments early this year. The U.S. European Command assessment said the pause hurt Ukraine's readiness and bargaining powers, simultaneously pushing his high-profile talks to Putin, Zelensky, aiming to ceasefire security guarantees with mixed shifting messages to NATO and territorial concessions. Does this align with his words? No, not really. They promised end in 24 hours, hasn't happened. Instead, there was a pause in aid, contrary to the quick peace claims, followed by confusing signals about guarantees, NATO, and territory. Net policy is inconsistent with simple campaign line, and outcomes don't match with the promises. You know, again, for entertainment purposes only, take away what resonates, leave the rest. I got no beef with Poppy T. I got no beef with Daddy D and his wife, you know. I got no beef. I got no beef with anybody. That requires way too much effort, too much energy. I do not have time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that, right? But what I don't understand is just the lack of consistency. And I know that there's millions upon millions that are questioning the same thing. Like, at what point do we get to a place in our walk and just like ask ourselves, like, it's the same crap, different day. I mean, we've been talking about the same stuff year after year after year after year, but yet there's not change. There's not change. And, so it's one of those things, like, when are your actions going to align with your promises? That's all I'm saying. I'm just disappointed. Like, you said you were going to come in, get rid of all the corruptness, get rid of all this stuff, and, do all these things. And yet here I am living in a world followed by deceit and corruption. By my government. By my government. And not only just me, but everybody else out there. Everybody else out there. I mean, I shouldn't have to file on top of file on top of file to get my government to stand beside me and fight for me justly, honorably. Instead, they do all these things in the back. Why? I need to understand this. Break it down for me so I can understand. You know what I mean? And I'm not just talking about for me and my testimony and stuff. I'm just saying in general. Like, look at the things people say and see if that aligns with their actions. And if it doesn't, that is the answer. We're all searching for answers when it's right in front of our face. I had to face that too. In my day-to-day, my family, my friends, my career field, like what they were saying and what they were doing were not aligning. Not by any means. To this day, they still don't align. People say they love you, but they love you with conditions. Very big conditions at that. Shush. All right. And then they portray this whole entire false reality outside into the world. Whether that's family, friends, this and that. And again, I'm not talking about my testimony. I'm just saying in general. That is the world we're creating right now. The same thing goes for you in your world. I mean, open your eyes to the people around you. Are the people that you surround yourself with today, what they say, is it aligned with their actions? Do you feel good when you're around them? Do they lift you up? Do you feel good with what you do for a living? Do you feel like you're doing right by your brothers and sisters? Like, you have to ask yourself these things. And if you can't come to the answer, well, then that means that you're not aligned. You're not aligned with what you already know inside your mind, body, and soul. And when you're not aligned with what your heart says, your mind says, your body says, your soul says, it seeps out of you. It seeps out of you. And darkness will follow you. You can't run from that. You can't run from that. When you are not aligned with yourself, it will follow you. It just will. I know that. And it will eat you up and spit you out. And you'll self-deprecate. You'll have all these negative thoughts. You'll be easily swayed. You won't know what makes you happy, what makes you feel good. You won't know none of that. You'll be like a walking brrr, And I don't want that for nobody. I don't want that from anybody. Everybody deserves a good life. They really do. But anyways, I hope this video resonated. For entertainment purposes only, 18 and above. Goodness knows I gotta put these disclaimers out. Either way though, they'll take my account. It don't matter. It makes no difference. Oh man, I love you guys. Have a great day.